The San Francisco 49ers come away with the preseason victory 24-15 in week 2 of the preseason against the Denver Broncos on the road. And before I get into the game, guys, you guys are probably wondering why I'm filming this video from the car, and that is because I am currently on vacation with my family. We are staying in Carlsbad, California at a very nice hotel. So really enjoying the time out here. And so with that being said, let's get into this video. So Jimmy Garoppolo, now that is the big storyline. So, you know, we all had been waiting and anticipating Jimmy Garoppolo's return from the ACL tear. And so, you know, you had to imagine that he was definitely amped up. So he didn't get playing time in week 1, but here in week 2, you know that he is going to start getting a feel for the offense, you know, just get a flow of things and, you know, really be ready for week 1 of the regular season. And so it was a struggle for Garoppolo tonight, guys. You know, he did not actually get any yards. He was 1 for 6 on his throws and threw an interception. And Chandler, you know, he put a lot of pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo. And so you saw him definitely at times, I think, look a little, you know, you could definitely sense or see that he was feeling pressure a lot of times. And so the throws he made, you know, there was the one throw on the interception, you know, it was like they were saying is like a 50-50 chance that, you know, the receiver could have caught it, and Garoppolo threw it up kind of in desperation there. And so unfortunately it didn't go his way. And so, yeah, I mean, the Broncos, you give them credit. They did a good job putting pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo. And, you know, I definitely think, you know, he was definitely trying to go out there and maybe do a little too much, possibly. I don't think that was the case, but, you know, you can say maybe that could have been a possibility because, you know, trying to prove all the people wrong that, of course, have doubted him since he suffered that ACL tear. And, you know, even there's critics out there saying that, oh, Garoppolo, you know, he didn't really play that well last season, even into week 3 against Kansas City when he suffered the ACL tear. And so, you know, I have complete faith in Jimmy G that, you know, it's just shaking off the rust in this one, and he is definitely going to bounce back. And so CJ Beathard, he came in, guys, after him. He was 5 of 11, threw for 89 yards, 7.4 average yards completion, and a quarterback rating of 70.6. And Nick Mullins in his time tonight, guys, he absolutely shined, which was something that we saw a lot last season when Jimmy G went down. Really liked Nick Mullins a lot last year, and I think he's a really capable backup. You know, really probably, I would say, my pick to win the number 2 spot behind Jimmy G. But I like CJ Beathard too and what he has to offer as a quarterback, and I think this is going to be a really fun quarterback competition race for the backup spot there. So Nick Mullins, he was 2 of 3 in the game, guys, throwing 27 yards, a completion, 9 yards average. And also threw 1 touchdown, guys. So had a quarterback rating of 134.7 for Nick Mullins. So really impressive. And so now we are going to get into the receiving core group of this game to see what stats really stood off the stat sheet, guys. And so Raheem Mostert, the running back, he got a couple of receptions for 42 yards, and so that was an average of 21 yards a reception, so really impressive on his part. And in the running game, he had 6 attempts carrying for 58 yards, and that was an average of 9.7 yards a carry, so he was very impressive out there, and I really liked what I saw out of him last season. If you guys remember, he's the one that got hurt really bad in the Battle of the Bay game against the Raiders. Unfortunately, I believe he suffered, I think it was a broken arm or a forearm or a wrist or something, but it did not look pretty on the play. So, you know, prayers went out to him for a speedy recovery. So honestly, it's just really amazing to see him out there be healthy and, you know, able to contribute the way he has. Kendrick Bourne, a receiver we've talked a lot about, guys. He had 1 touchdown in the game, 2 receptions for 27 yards on 3 attempts he was thrown to. Caden Smith, guys, 1 reception with 17 yards. And we had Richie James. Richie James, he did a great job on the return game, on kickoff returns, guys. He had 2 kickoff returns for 80 yards, so an average of 40 yards on the return. So very impressive for Richie James. and he also had 1 reception for 14 yards. Jeff Wilson, guys, the running back, he got a reception for 1 reception for 8 yards. And in the running game, Jeff Wilson, guys, on 9 attempts, he carried for 33 yards, which was an average of 3.7 yards a carry. And so now to get more into the receiving game, or rushing game, I should say, following Raheem Mostert, Deebo Samuel, the wide receiver, guys, he got an impressive carry for 40 yards, 45 yards, I should say. Really insane. I really love the explosiveness from Deebo Samuel. He is going to be an exciting addition to Jimmy Garoppolo, and you know, this the weapons that he's going to have offensively. It's going to be really fun to see. Really just all the players that are going to get open, and you know, the different game plans that they can do against defenses, and the game schemes that Kyle Shanahan and the coaching group, you know, that they're going to be able to dial up. It's going to be so much fun to watch. Austin Walter, guys, he had 6 attempts for carrying for 22 yards. That was an average of 3.7 yards a carry. And then Teron Coleman, guys, 3 attempts for 21 yards. So that carried out to 7 yards average per carry. And then Matt Breida, phenomenal running back. Didn't get much action in this one, but love what we've seen out of him over the years, guys. He was actually on my fantasy football team last year. I used him in a lot of spots, and he came through. Maybe not necessarily the best pick in terms of, you know, what I could have went with the running back selection, but for what he was able to do and contribute, he's just been phenomenal. So, sorry there. He carried for 1 carry for 4 yards in this one. And so, guys, to get into the defense, the 49ers defense, they did allow 15 points, but there were some positives in the game, like getting 6 sacks. So you definitely saw them put a lot of pressure. And, you know, the defense is only going to get better whenever Nick Bosa is able to return. And then, you know, you got Dee Ford going to be on that front line. They are going to be wreaking havoc to opposing teams' offenses. And it is going to be so much fun for us 49ers fans to see how this is all going to play out. So on defense, guys, to go over some of the names, Jay Velawaga, defensive end, he had 7 tackles in the game and 1/2 of a sack. DJ Reed had 6 tackles in the game. And then we had Jagari Tart, a guy I really like a lot. He had 5 tackles in this game. Kendavis Street, 4 tackles, and he had 1.5 sacks in the game. Jay Bromley, defensive tackle, he had 3 tackles in the game and accounted for 2 sacks, so really impressive. Marcel Harris, a defensive back, he had 2 total tackles for 1 sack. And then we had Mark Nekocha, who had 2 total tackles for 1 sack. So really some impressive stats. And overall, guys, as with this win over the Denver Broncos in this preseason week 2, the 49ers now moved to 2-0 in the preseason. And what we've seen, guys, so far, I definitely like what we've seen. Again, you know, Jimmy G is just going to take some time to shake that rust off. You love what you saw in the backups in CJ Beathard and Nick Mullins. And you saw some guys make some explosive plays, of course, in week 1 against Dallas. You know, we saw Jalen Hurd make some big plays and Deebo Samuel make some big plays. And so you love that you're seeing the draft core from this season contribute already early in preseason. And that's only hopefully going to be a sign of things to come as we get to the regular season. And so with that being said, guys, let's look ahead to the future, to the San Francisco 49ers next game they are going to be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City for week 3 of the preseason this coming Saturday, guys, at 5 p.m. So it is going to be an epic showdown. And so, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you made it all the way through to the end of the video, then be sure to smash that like button. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching my videos. And comment down below, guys. Let me know your opinion, your perspective. What was your thoughts on the 49ers game tonight? Are you concerned about Jimmy G, or do you think nothing to be concerned about, that, you know, he'll be able to shake off these next couple games, and, you know, really maybe only reason to be concerned if we're 4, 5, 6 games in the year and he's not playing well? And so, you know, you love the work ethic that Jimmy G has, what he has done to put himself in shape. And so, you know, definitely am not concerned about that. And also, guys, one quick thing I wanted to say is that if you would like to check out some of these vlogs on my family vacation, I'm going to be later in the week posting in the description of some of my recent videos from, my sports videos from vacation. Be sure to check in the description. I'll have a link to those vlogs so you'll be able to check them out. So I hope you enjoy them. And so guys, until next time, I will see you again. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.